You need to get that kid out of here, or I'm calling the police, she snapped, phone already in hand, fingers poised to dial. My son, Ethan, sat in his wheelchair, clutching a paper boat he'd crafted, tears welling in his eyes. In that moment, I knew this woman had no idea who she'd just crossed. It was a serene Sunday morning, the kind where birdsong and sunlight streamed through our farmhouse windows, mingling with the aroma of pancakes and coffee. Ethan, his grin fierce despite his cerebral palsy, was up early, ready to roll his motorized wheelchair down the gravel path to the pond near the woods. The trail, public county land skirting the edge of the Silverwood HOA neighborhood, was his sanctuary, where he'd watch ducks and weave tales of adventure. We'd moved here 6 months ago, seeking peace after I traded active duty for a desk at the sheriff's office. I thought this rural haven would be safe for Ethan, far from urban chaos. I was wrong. At the center of this storm was Caroline Prescott, Silverwood's HOA president, who wielded her title like a crown. Rumors about her preceded our arrival. She fined neighbors for unapproved flower beds and hunted non-compliant mailboxes like a predator. Ethan had passed her house on his outings, never disturbing anyone, just a kid with a paper boat and a love for ducks. That morning, he'd set off with a wave, calling, "Back in 30, Dad." I smiled, unaware those words would spark a battle. 15 minutes later, my radio crackled. I was on the porch, coffee in hand, when dispatch reported a suspicious male near Silverwood Pond. My gut twisted. Ethan was the only one out there. I was in my cruiser before the mug hit the ground. Rounding the trail's bend, I saw them. Ethan's wheelchair by the pond, his boat floating gently, and Caroline, arms crossed, phone to her ear, radiating smug authority. Ethan looked small, confused. Her voice sliced through the air. "You need to remove that boy before I call the cops." I stepped out, uniform crisp, and watched her confidence falter as she recognized me. "Ma'am," I said, voice low, "did you just report my son?" She stumbled, "Your son." Ethan turned, relief flooding his face. "I'm Sheriff Michael Thornton," I said, pointing to our farmhouse through the trees. "That's my home. That's my boy. Care to explain?" She stammered, "I didn't know. He was near our property. We've had issues with strangers." I cut her off. "That trail's county land, not HOA. He's done nothing wrong." She bristled. "Residents have complained." I stepped closer. "Funny, I've got no reports. If there's an issue, you come to me, not scare a kid." Ethan's voice broke through, small. "Did I mess up, Dad?" My heart cracked. "No, buddy. Some folks forget what kindness is." Caroline stood mute as I retrieved Ethan's boat and guided him home, her eyes burning into us. She'd started something she couldn't finish. Back home, I tucked Ethan in for a nap, but rage simmered. Caroline hadn't just overstepped. She'd attacked my son's dignity, painting a disabled kid as a threat. I'd faced killers and conmen, but her entitled sneer hit harder. I didn't file a report, not yet. Instead, I chose to watch, wait, and build a case. She'd slip again, and I'd be ready. At the county records office, I pulled property maps confirming the trail was public, part of a county greenbelt. Caroline had no claim, but facts wouldn't stop her. She thrived on control, not truth. I stashed copies in my truck, sensing they'd be useful. That afternoon, an HOA letter arrived, a formal warning about Ethan's unauthorized presence near Silverwood homes, citing a fabricated bylaw and demanding he avoid private trails. A handwritten note from Caroline read, "Hope this clarifies." See, her audacity, targeting my son, then signing with a flourish, lit a fire. I didn't react. Instead, I started a file, Prescott case, logging the letter, dispatch records, and maps. A call to the county civil office verified the HOA's limits. The trail was untouchable. I bided my time. 3 days passed quietly. Ethan resumed his outings, cautious, but determined. I stayed close, tending the yard with an eye on the path. On day 4, Caroline escalated. A video appeared on the neighborhood app, posted by C. Prescott, HOA, showing Ethan by the pond, captioned, "Suspicious kid loitering again. Protect your families." Comments ranged from outrage to vile support, poisoning the air. I saved everything: screenshots, threads, metadata. The app admin, Mark, preserved the post after I flagged it as harassment. That evening, Ethan came home quiet. He admitted kids on bikes had called him a creeper, Caroline's lies taking root. My stomach churned. That night, I scouted the trail, installing discreet trail cams near Ethan's favorite spot. If Caroline wanted war, I'd have proof. 2 days later, a mess. Margaret, a no-nonsense Silverwood elder, called. She'd seen Caroline snapping photos by the pond and confronted her. Caroline's reply, "The sheriff's kid doesn't get a pass just because he's disabled." Margaret was livid, offering to testify. I noted every word. That night, a cam caught a teen, Caroline's grandson, Noah, tampering near Ethan's usual spot. Checking his wheelchair, I found a loosened bolt rigged to fail. This wasn't just drama, it was sabotage. The next morning, Ethan was eager to draw ducks, his new sketchpad in hand. I watched him roll off, heart heavy. Mid-chores, my phone rang the clinic. Ethan had fallen, his chair tipping on the trail. A jogger found him, bruised and cut, shaken but alive. At the clinic, he lay pale, whispering he'd heard laughter in the trees. Rage boiled, but I stayed calm, promising he was safe. In the garage, I found a half-unscrewed hub screw on his chair. Deliberate. Trail cam footage showed Noah at 7:40 a.m., crouching near the path, loosening something before fleeing. 10 minutes later, Ethan crashed. I copied the footage, called my lawyer friend, and filed a report for felony tampering with a mobility device. Caroline's smear was now criminal. Margaret confirmed seeing Noah that morning, her statement damning. Another app video surfaced, grainy footage of Ethan with the caption, "Why is this kid back after warnings?" Its angle came from a camera on a county utility pole, illegal surveillance. I reported it, tightening the noose. Ethan asked if he should skip the trail. "No way," I said. "Bullies don't win." But fear lingered in his eyes. That night, under the stars, I vowed to end this, not with anger, but with justice. I compiled evidence, footage, maps, Margaret's testimony, social media. The ADA office and DA received copies, harassment and disability discrimination charges looming. Then Caroline went rogue. Trucks rolled into Silverwood, workers digging along the trail for a fence, no permits, no vote. I confronted the foreman, who admitted Caroline's orders, but had no paperwork. Photos in hand, I called the zoning board. By morning, a county official halted the work, citing public land violations. Caroline arrived, livid, claiming safety and daring to blame Ethan. The officer's eyebrow rose, her words dug her deeper. She faced fines for illegal construction and possible HOA fund misuse. The DA confirmed charges against Noah, with Caroline as a potential accessory. The HOA board cracked. Vice President James met me, revealing missing financials and fake invoices, including one for trail enhancement timed with Caroline's first video. I urged him to share with auditors. Caroline tried rallying support, but her charm faded. Residents shunned her. Allies ghosted. An HOA letter announced her suspension amid the audit and Noah's charges. Ethan, healing, resumed sketching, his spirit flickering back. At the pond, kids joined him, marveling at his art, acceptance blooming. Caroline's final gambit, a defamation lawsuit, flopped, buried under evidence. The audit exposed $15,000 in misspent funds, including illegal cameras and a PI to spy on residents. At an emergency meeting, residents ousted Caroline. Her excuses drowned in stories of her tyranny. She left alone, her power shattered. New signs welcomed all to the trail. A bench honored Ethan's courage, painted with ducks. He grinned, sketching daily. Caroline's house sold to a quiet couple, her name a cautionary tale. A news segment hailed Ethan's stand, his words, "Kindness isn't weak," echoing. One evening, we rode back roads, Ethan joking about Deputy Ducky. The trail, once a battleground, bloomed with wildflowers, a testament to his resilience. Caroline's reign sparked this fight, but Ethan's heart won it, proving justice isn't just law, it's truth. Silverwood transformed, now hosting inclusive community events and a yearly festival celebrating resilience. Ethan's sketches hang in the community center, a quiet reminder of the boy who faced a bully and reshaped a neighborhood. Caroline, stripped of influence, faded into obscurity, her legacy a warning: never underestimate the strength of a kind heart.